Hey everybody, my name is Anthem Salgado. I am your business coach representing Art of Hustle. Art of Hustle is ranked #1 in the category of marketing throughout Yelp San Francisco. And today we're going to be talking about two key arenas that every professional should be focusing on in order to advance in their practice. This is not industry specific, which means it's going to be applicable to everybody's journey. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick tip. And without further delay, what are those two arenas? #1, it's mindset. #2, it's skill set. Mindset, what is it? In a couple words, I think probably the best way to perfectly summarize it is personal development, okay? Now, what does that include? I think it includes grit, your sense of perseverance, your bias for action, for optimism, your ability to rebound, to bounce back from difficult situations, the maturity to be able to self-analyze, to understand what your strengths are, to celebrate them, but to also understand where your weaknesses are and where you should grow yourself. It also has to do with your limiting beliefs. Do you realize that you have limiting beliefs? Are you willing to admit that? Everybody does. So in that case, are you challenging yourself to recognize where you self-sabotage? Because everybody does that. Everybody does that. We're not excused from it because we all have certain patterns that we need to recognize. For the most part, serve us well, but in certain circumstances also don't serve us well. So those are all instances where we're going to want to basically look at ourselves and say, do I understand self? Do I understand my own mind? Do I have a good handle on my inner game? So that is the mindset component that's really important. Sometimes people neglect that and to their detriment, really. Now, let's go ahead and talk about skill set. Well, what is skill set? Really, it is your ability to produce a concrete outcome, okay? A tangible, visible, very evident outcome. So that is, in the world, your ability to navigate laws of physics, man-made laws, laws of social norms, cultural rules, language skills. So there's a lot of things that we can conjure mentally. There are things that we can visualize, but at the end of the day, you have to match your vision with what we're given. And what we're given is this world full of existing rules. Can you apply your vision to this world, this crazy world of existing rules? Some of them are social, some of them are legal, some of them are physical, and can you actually make things happen? And that is how I would define skill set. So there you have it, mindset and skill set. Now the problem a lot of times is people really dig themselves into one camp over the other, as if one is better than the other. So there are a lot of mindset folks who are like, hey, I get it, I'm gonna do the mindset stuff, I believe in the mindset stuff, and they only do the mindset stuff. And on the flip side, there are folks who are like, I don't understand the mindset stuff, that's for hippies, for new age, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? There's a lot of criticism. And then they're like, why do I need that? I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I have skills. So I'm gonna tell you very quickly why you need to have both. So let's say that you have a mindset that is pretty good. You're a believer, you wanna make things happen, you're overall an optimist, and you have a bunch of great ideas. But you don't have the skills. So you tell me, what's going to happen for you as far as producing concrete outcomes? Probably not a lot because you don't have the ability to make those things happen. That's where skill set comes in. And if you're in business, what that basically covers is marketing, sales, branding, ability to represent your company, to speak up on behalf of your skills, to close a deal, to negotiate your rate. These are all skills that have nothing to do with mindset, but they are skills that happen after you develop your strong mindset. You can't just have a strong mindset and have all these things fall into your lap. Otherwise, most people would just meditate under a tree and live a very fruitful life. Some people try that. You might find happiness, but you're not going to find results in the physical world is what I'm saying. Now, on the flip side of that, you might have somebody that has a lot of skills, and we've all met people like this. Maybe we've even been this type of person. You might have a lot of skills, but then if you don't have the right mindset, you're going to have a hard time pulling the trigger. You're going to have a hard time jumping out of the gate. You're going to have a hard time believing enough in yourself to really put yourself out there. So that's the problem, right? And there are people out there that have a lot of degrees, a lot of diplomas, a lot of certifications. On paper, their resume is amazing, right? You're like, they're highly qualified, but they don't have the confidence or they haven't done the search for self to recognize like, hey, I'm holding myself back. And because they're not really at a place to admit it quite yet and to analyze it and to work on it, all those skills are for naught. You might as well not have any of those skills because you're not really putting them to their best use. That's what those two arenas are. So quick overview, it's mindset and skill set. You absolutely need both. Now here's another little thing that I'm going to add to this. While you do need both forever, for the rest of your life, I do believe one precedes the other. I've given you a little diagram here that I drew up just before we went live. I hope you could see this. That's your journey. And in the beginning of your journey, I really do believe you need more mindset in the beginning because I feel like it sets the tone, it kind of sets the ground for you to be able to reach out and start building those skills, right? Now, over time, what you're going to find is skill set is going to be more important, but as you can see, you're never fully excused from continuing to develop that mindset component. So again, you need both, but in the beginning, you need that mindset stuff dialed before, I think, getting into the business stuff. And I say this in my particular arena because there are people, for instance, who have a business idea and they'll say, look, I have a business idea. Is this a good time for us to start working together? And depending on where they are, most of the time I'll probably say not yet. Not yet. Because if you have a business idea and you've been sitting on it, that probably means, again, you've been afraid to pull the trigger. You've been afraid, for whatever reason, to jump out of the gate. So really, most folks who are working with me fare better when they're already out of the gate because to me it demonstrates that they've surpassed that first hurdle, that first fear, right? Now they're open and ready for business, they're making sales, and now I can add on to what they've already started with the skill set stuff. So that is a distinction and why I like to think mindset comes first and then skill set, all right? Again, this is Anthem Salgado, business coach at Art of Hustle. We're ranked #1 in the category of marketing for the entire of Yelp San Francisco. Enjoy an amazing, lovely day. Thanks.